Hey, Tony Gassens here, popping in. Now, as y'all know, we keeping these relationship topics steady flowing, steady going. And to those y'all in the Blessed Tribe, today I'll be filming some, at least some of the Pop the Balloon review. I don't know where they at with it. I don't particularly watch the show. I don't watch it at all, but y'all like it and watch it. So I'm gonna do my take on it. So whatever I grab, probably be the latest one. Y'all could put in the comments on that one what episodes y'all want me to review, and I'll try to do one a day. They take about 2 hours for me because I'm stopping it and breaking it down. So if you're not in the Blessed Tribe, that's where that's gonna be at. You'll see the join button up under. But a tip for that is don't join it from the Apple app. If you got an iPhone, you gotta go on a computer or go on the browser and go to youtube.com and then log into your YouTube account and then join like that, because you'll save some money. Because you do it on the app, you paying Apple 30% fee. So just a little tip on that right there. But saw this clip that y'all sent me, and some of y'all even put it in the comments that y'all want me to touch on it and speak on this situation with Jamal Bryant and the young lady. Now, one of the things y'all know that I do is I read people and just able to look at you and kind of tell your life story, and not to excuse Jamal Bryant. Now, for one, we haven't, I'm sure they may show that on the full interview or wherever that's going to be listed at. And that the blogger, she went on, the young lady went on Tasha K platform, and that Tasha K, she is really not to be messed with. And she, I mean, well, she exposed it all. Now, she was wrong for bringing that little boy on there. Definitely should not have done that. Could have just talked to the grown woman. And if I was Tasha K, I wouldn't, I would edit that part out with the little boy, because that's a child and he got to go to school. And hopefully, of course, kids his age, we would like to hope they not on YouTube, but they most likely are. You know, I got a 12-year-old son. He's on YouTube and he watch YouTube. We on his page is on up under my account, so he got YouTube Premium because his page up under my account. Now you gonna bump into stuff. You gonna see stuff. His algorithm, of course, is a bunch of little kid stuff, video game stuff, and all of that. I done looked at it and what he be looking at, and it's just a bunch of little kid stuff. But you just never know, because you have people that are in every arena monetizing, and so I feel terrible for the little boy, because now the world gonna know he don't know his dad, but then also the world gonna assume that his dad is Jamal Bryant, which we don't fully know that. And she may have some paperwork or whatever that she gonna show and prove. It's unfortunate for Jamal Bryant, because he just tried to get him some kudos by coming out and speaking out against Cheyenne Bryant, his long lost cousin. Y'all notice they got the same last name, and both of them getting caught up in this scammery and all this tomfoolery. Y'all forgive me, I got a little thing over there, little TV thing, and a FIFA World Cup on, and they getting caught up in this little scammery. That's very unfortunate that they Cheyenne and Jamal got the same last name, and both of them getting called frauds. Not a good day for the Bryant name. But the thing about with Jamal Bryant is, at this point, we're not surprised. And I thought that maybe that's the lady that people always said he had a baby by a stripper. Now, if that's not the stripper, and that's another, child that he has fathered, that would be absolutely insane. And at that point, it's like, yes, it's the past, but does new birth Missionary Baptist, I don't know what it's called, his church or New Bethel or whatever, do they have a board? And if this man has fathered a child that he has not taken care of, then the board need to sit him down. And anybody on the board that's on this here channel watching, which I know is probably somebody because they regular people too, y'all need to sit them down. And I would say I'll take it over, but there's probably too many spirits in there. And they don't want no real word from God in there, obviously, because if you go to a church where the pastor moving how Jamal Bryant be moving, you not serious about God. I hate to break it to you, but you're not serious about God, because you're not gonna let a messenger stand up before you and do and say the stuff and live the way that Jamal be living. You're not finna let nobody be the conduit of God's word to you if you serious about God. You just, so I hate to break that to you. If you a member in his church or you go to his church, and I doubt we got the same people. We probably got a few, but I doubt we got the same people, because I'm very serious about the Lord. I don't play about the Lord. I don't play about the Lord. I don't play about my lifestyle and how I live my life. I do not play. And I don't like that. I just don't understand it. Like, it just shows me that when somebody play with the Lord, it just shows me that they don't know God, that they never experienced God, that they never really had a relationship with God. Like, once you experience God, you can't play with it. I just cannot understand it. Like, it is mind boggling to me to see these men, but it also shows me how powerful Satan is, and just how he was given dominion over the earth. Like, he is the prince of the air. Because to see, I was looking at the clip last night too of Tory Roberts, to see him talking about he's anointed, but at the same time he talking about he was about to curse, and he talking about dog, Negro, I'm anointed. And it's like, how you anointed and cocky? Like, they don't even go together. Like, how you anointed and you arrogant in the middle of your calling yourself anointed? And it's just crazy to me, because even with the lies that he done told y'all, and it's people that come on here and come on here and be in the comments telling me, Jamal, Torrey wasn't with his wife when he met Sarah. Yes, he was. I know the man personally. I know him at that time. I was at the same event that him and Sarah was at. I know the timeline. He met Sarah and divorced his wife for Sarah and lying to y'all. I was there. I talked to his wife right after the divorce. I know what happened. The whole story. Y'all getting lied to. And so when I tell you something, I'm out here. I'm in the trenches. I'm right up in it. I know what I'm talking about. Don't tell me nothing. I know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm right here in it. Somebody like, oh, honey, young. I know Jamal Bryant. I've been knowing Jamal Bryant since he knew me before I knew him. I've been knowing Jamal Bryant since 2010, 2012, something like that. I know Jamal, and his brother know me. He got a brother too, because we was at MegaFest that same year that Torrey came with Devon Franklin. All of us was at MegaFest, and TD Jakes was preaching about, you want to be big, but little got you. That was the message. I remember the message, because Jamal Bryant and his entourage walked out in the middle of TD Jakes' message, because he was talking to Jamal Bryant. He said, y'all want to be so big, but little got you. He said, you got 12 members and 6 some armor bearers. I was sitting in the very back. I was listening, and when Jamal Bryant walked out, I was sitting on the aisle. He looked right at me and smiled big, spoke to me. His brother spoke to me. He knew exactly who I was. And I remember, I bumped into him in the airport, and he stopped me and talked to me like, bro, hey, He was single at that time. Had went through his divorce. I think it was right before he started dating the singer Tweet. He was like, man, how you know all these women and you ain't hooked me up with nobody? I was like, I got you, brother. And then when he went, I think to this new church he at, Eddie Long Church, he started that podcast. I was on his podcast. The episode might not be up no more because I done had to call him out since then. And that's what y'all need to know about me. Like, for me, it's by God. Like, I'm not Anthony O'Neill. I'm not Lateria Whitfield. I'm not one of them type of dudes. Like, I'm not one of the people that, because I know somebody, I'm not going to speak on them. No, if you playing with the name of the Lord, I'm calling you out. I'm lining you up. I'm putting that scope on your head and I'm calling you right out because I don't play by God. Like, if I got to live right and do the right thing, all of y'all got to live right and do the right thing. And if you're not living right and doing the right thing, I'm calling your butt out. Because don't you think the devil tempt me too? Don't you think the devil tempt me to leave my wife? Don't you think the devil tempt me to cheat on my wife? Don't you think the devil tempt me too? So if I could stand in the paint and do the right thing, then you could stand in the paint and do the right thing. If I can avoid youthful lust, if I can not watch porn, you could not watch it. If I could be faithful, you could be faithful. So I'm gonna call you, but I chose to marry my wife. That's what I got to live with. Ain't no, oh, I found somebody better. I met somebody with more money. I met somebody with a better body, with better this, somebody who got more purpose, somebody who know my purpose. No, that's who I married, and I'm a lover for everything she is and everything she ain't, from the crown of her head to the sole of her feet. I'm gonna love her. And unless I find out that she physically cheated on me or cheating on me, like had sex with another man, then I ain't leaving her. I ain't leaving her. If it come out she slept with another man while we was married, okay, I'm out of there. The Bible let me go because of that. That I'm authorized by the Bible to leave. But for anything else, I ain't leaving. And no, I know she not gonna beat on me and all of that right there. And anything else, it's on me. Oh, what if she steal from you? Oh, that's my fault. That's my fault. I should have watched the money closer. Like me, I'm a man. And one thing about being a man is you don't point the blame. You accept 100% responsibility. So even anything that my wife has done to me, I caused it. That was a failure in my leadership. And that's what I need men to understand. When you the head, it's on you. Your wife cheated on you. Your wife talked to another man. Your wife stole money. Your wife did this. Your wife, it's on you. You the head. You the man. It's on you. Now, what I don't condone or appreciate is if a man is being an amazing man and he treating a woman the way she need to be treated and she do wrong. When me and my wife had any issues in our relationship, I started it. When she was distant, when she was, ready to leave, when she was open, when she was, looking at other options or what she finna do, how she finna move, that was because of me. It was because of me. And Torrey Roberts' marriage fell because of him. Jamal Bryant marriage fell because of him. Neither one of them have not hung their wife on nobody cross and said this woman was a bad woman. She was a no good woman. She was a liar. She was a cheater. She was a thief. Ain't now one of them said that. Keon Henderson, another pastor who went through a divorce, he didn't say that. I think it was TD Jakes had a pastor named Chris Hill, if I'm not mistaken, in Denver, who I think, now forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe they were saying he had a affair. And he knows me as well because I was somewhere and he came up to me and spoke to me. And then I just saw Pastor John Great. He had to come out talking about whatever type of emotional infidelity or whatever. I just saw John Great on the court at the NBA finals because the president of basketball at the New York Knicks, which was my boss at the Houston Rockets, Gerson Rosas, Gerson when he was in Houston, went to Joel Osteen Church and took me to Joel Osteen Church on a Wednesday night. And John Gray was the pastor. And I had no clue who John Gray was. And then later it dawned on me when they told me his name was John Gray. And I later saw him. I realized then that John Gray was the guy who came up to me in New York in the hotel when I was going to number 1 draft pick hotel room with him and his family. I met John Gray in the lobby, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, you're Tony Gaskins." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I'm John Gray. I had forgot his name." He said, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I said, "Yeah." So that's the same way I met Torrey. How you doing? I'm Torrey, whatever. Can I get to know you? Can I befriend you? Same way I met Jamal Bryant. And then met Devon Franklin through Torrey. Torrey was with Devon. We bumped into each other at MegaFest. And then Devon was with Megan Good. And he said to Megan Good, he said, "I met Megan Good. Hey, how you doing? I'm Tony Gaskins." And Devon said, "You know who this is?" And she said, "No, I've never met him." And Devon said verbatim, "This the brother that we watch preach at PT." That's what they call Torrey, Pastor Torrey, at PT Church. She's like, "Oh yeah, I do recall. I do remember." Megan, you know who I am, child. That's not trying to act like, but that was great though. That was good respect for your man to act like you know who I was. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I do remember. I do remember." I was like, "Oh no, man, it wasn't nothing." I said, "Boy, I can't preach like you." I said, "I don't do nothing but tell my story." He said, "Hey, but that story will preach though. That story will preach though. Hey, good meeting you, man. Hey, all that." And we met like that. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is these guys might not like me, but they respect me. They know who I am and they know how I live. When I met Anthony O'Neal, the way I met Anthony O'Neal, I went to a Dave Ramsey seminar in Orlando, and I took my dad. I think it's called Smart Money. And I'm looking in the pamphlet, and I saw 3 black guys. I went to my Twitter, and I searched each one of their names. How about I had never heard of these guys? How about all 3 of them follow me on Twitter? And I DM Anthony O'Neal. I said, "Hey, man, I'm at the event and saw you on the thing. Didn't know you followed me." You know, I followed him back. And then he was like, "Oh, man, Tony Gaskin, man, what's up, man? Let's meet up in the hallway, man." And Anthony O'Neal was like, he was kind of like a little sideshow. They gave him 10 minutes. So they gave everybody else an hour, 30 minutes, hour. They gave Anthony O'Neal 10 minutes. And he get up there and tell his story about going into debt. And that's how he got his start. He wrote in telling a story about going into debt in college. I did the same thing in college. So I could have worked for Dave Ramsey too, but I never thought about that. And I met up with him and we talked and we just kept in touch. And he just was struggling, trying to make it. So when I speak on these guys, this is what I need y'all to understand. I'm not sitting on the outside like these bloggers and don't know nobody. I know everybody I speak on for the most part, or somebody right next to them. So I be getting myself alienated and ostracized and blackballed and blacklisted because I have to speak on this stuff for y'all because I work for God. And so this is what I want y'all to understand from this here Jamal Bryant situation. What I want y'all to understand, and I got a little time because my first coaching call not till 1:00 if that is still on. But doggone, hit the screenshot button. And so this what I want y'all to understand. And so y'all don't think I just be trying to come and just make stuff up. Y'all be what you want to talk about. And you trying to just put it on here. You see that? A Blessed Tribe member. Hey, Tony, can you do a video on former mistress Jamal Bryant not being an active father? I'm a Blessed Tribe member. That little yellow thing is mean Blessed Tribe member. So when I see those comments, I screenshot it. You see, this is in my phone, in my camera roll. I screenshot it, and that's how I get my content. So just to shut y'all up for that, hey, you just want to hate, you just want to talk about it. So I talk about what the people ask me to talk about. And so put your requests in the comments because I do get to read them every now and then, especially when I need a topic. And let me tell you about this Jamal Bryant. And this is the thing. This is not about Jamal Bryant. Not because I know him, not because I'm scared of him. I called his butt out with that Cheyenne Bryant thing, and he came back out after I called his butt out. Some of y'all probably sent it to him. His team follow me because the producer had to reach out to me to bring him on the show. He made an apology, and he called out, rightfully so. And so it ain't about that, but because here's the thing. When you lay down with a man, it's 50-50. She ain't coming on and saying that he R-word her. She coming on and saying that he met her on MySpace. He met her on MySpace. And I don't know how old that little boy is. But MySpace, let's Google this. MySpace never officially shut down. It's made in 2011. So that's what somebody was saying too, because that's 2011. That's when it ceased to function as a major social network. And I remember that because I got off MySpace really around 2006. Because the last run I had on MySpace was with the Dazzling Dimes, where we started a page on there. We had 88 girls on our page that had joined our page from all over the state of Florida. Me and my homeboy, God rest his soul, Alice Dukes, who died from a rare form of cancer that black men between the age of 25 and 42 get, and it killed him within 12 months. I think his killed him within 6 months. It come upon I think like the kidney or somewhere in the back of athletic black men. It was acute something. I can't remember the name of it. It was kind of a little tough name, but he died. And I remember he came to me like, brother, doctor told me I got 12 months to live. And we were laughing because like, boy, stop playing, man. Don't come here with that because he looked healthy. He's a college Division I quarterback. We played against each other in high school and everything, and very athletic. And sure enough, he died. And God brought him in my life for some reason, but it was more so he said he just wanted to live. And I wasn't walking with the Lord at that time. I was in the street selling drugs, and I was running the Dazzling Dimes, and he wanted to come live. Like he wanted to live like that in his last days. And so, he smoked weed every day. I didn't smoke at all, but he smoked because his uncle had cancer and told him to smoke weed to help. And that's when MySpace was back then. And so with this young lady, I don't know how old this young man is, but it's like if you met Jamal Bryant on MySpace, that was, even if it was 2011, that's 15, 16 years ago. And she said that she met him on MySpace. And she said that he said, come and give him a massage and he'll pay her whatever. I used MySpace. I'm not understanding who would DM a woman for a massage. So she must have been some type of escort or some type of, because who says that? And then she said that he said she seduced him. And I do recall a sister that looked about just like her back in the day who was literally around in MySpace days, but it was after MySpace, was on Twitter. And I remember the sister was a video vixen. And I remember her begging me to send her a dangalang picture and to send her and to F her. That's what she was using, the F word. And she was like, please. And she was thick and voluptuous is what the term will be. And she was like one of them video girls. And she looked like the younger version of this young lady that's on the Tasha K. So the story not really adding up if that's Jamal's son, because that boy don't look 15 years old. That boy looked like 10 years old. And MySpace was not a thing in 2015. I mean, 2015, 2016. So if that is Jamal's son and she went to give him a massage the night of the message on MySpace, some ain't adding up. And then I could tell by her edges and by her lashes that she want attention. And ladies, I'm just telling y'all right now, if you wear that length of lashes, you want attention. And if you have them edges like that, you want attention. You've got to do your hair better than that. And them lashes, that length is not necessary. So this sister wants some attention. And if you will, and then you also got to realize what kind of mom are you to put your child on a Tasha K episode when you know Tasha K channel is all grown folks business. So when Tasha K asks you, can your son come on? I'd rather not. No, he's a kid. This ain't even about him as much as it is about Jamal not taking care of his child. And so that make it look like Jamal not the man child, not the man dad, because the story ain't adding up. And so, okay, if this was 10 years ago, what was Jamal doing in 10 years ago? And that's when so it say 2009, his divorce was finalized from the Real Housewives of Potomac star Giselle Bryant. Was finalized in 2009. So maybe now I got off MySpace because I changed my life. But like I say, it was still going till 2011. So if they met in that right there around 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, because them divorce could take a long time when you got a few assets and stuff you got to split up. Then if they met in that time, because he said, I'm going through a divorce, or I just got divorced, she said, or I'm going through a divorce. So that's right there a little different now. Now they rekindled their romance in 2019, but officially split again in 2021. So now the woman's son, look older than a 2019 baby too now. But to me, he looked like a 2014 to 2016 baby, because my son 2014, my youngest son born 2014, he 12. That him and that boy look about the same type of. The boy maybe could be a 2012 baby, but this the thing. When Tasha K asked her about it, She said, happened on the first try. Now, for those of y'all who don't know much about body language, whenever somebody blinking, and I'm a prime example, you go back to Cheyenne Bryant on the Breakfast Club, when she telling her story, she blanking like this. I mean, boy, I was just fluttering. And then, I went to, and then I gave them a call, and I went to give them a call to check on my transcripts and then she said, many years ago. And it's like, okay, many years ago, the school just shut down not too long ago now. So that's not many years ago. I was applying to be a professor at a law school. And it's like, okay, how are you going to be a professor at a law school? You're not no lawyer. You didn't go to law school. What do the people want you professing about at a law school? You're lying. And so a lot of these people come out, and it's unfortunate that it's black women. And that's why I try to tell y'all the mental health of black women is at an all-time decline. At the same time, and y'all got to understand this, my audience on YouTube is black women. And that's why I try to tell these mammy lane clowns, ain't no panderer in me. I just call a spade a spade. And 9 out of 10 times, the man be in the wrong. I'm a man. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable first. But when the woman is wrong, the woman is wrong. But one thing I know from working in the mental health space as a professional life coach is that the mental health of women is is about the worst I've ever seen it. And but at the same time, the at the same time, at the same time, hold on 1 second. My office landlord wrote me. And so at the same time, it's the highest rate of black women graduating, black women starting businesses, and all of that. And so what you realize is it's a strain on black women. It's also an attack on black women spiritually. So think about this now. Black women leading in getting degrees and starting companies. But black women are also, and this is not being reported, suffering with mental health issues from singleness. Black women are the number one in singledom of women. Black women is the number one demographic of single women. And that is why black women are also the number one in getting degrees and starting businesses, because black women are adapting and doing what they have to do, not necessarily what they want to do. Not every black woman wants to be an entrepreneur. Not every black woman want to be an entrepreneur. So y'all gotta forgive me. TGE. And the lady got blocked yesterday. Oh, I'm loving these long form videos without long pauses and breaks. Blocked. You're blocked. Don't comment on a video and I'm doing something for you for free. Hush your mouth. If I got to do something for me, I got to put me first. Don't be on here with your entitlement and your selfishness. You're blocked. Hush. And so think about this. I coach black women all day, every day. A lot of black women is tired and don't want to be an entrepreneur. The ones who want to be an entrepreneur is because most of them is because they feel they have to. They say 300 to 600,000 black women lost their job over the last year. I'm not sure how accurate those numbers are, but I do know I do coach a lot of unemployed black women who are making a plan, and they coming to me as a successful entrepreneur to help them get a plan in place. And we nail down that plan, and we get that plan, and we get them plays in place, and boom, they run them plays. And so this what you got to realize and understand is this woman coming out and talking about Jamal and the story not even adding up. And she don't even realize it, that the story don't add up. And I don't think Tasha K even realized that these dates ain't adding up. Unless this just an undersized 16 or 18-year-old boy. Her and Jamal was talking. I'm guess she gonna say that they were sleeping together for years or something. But she said she got pregnant on the first try, and she say she went to his room to massage him after he messaged her on MySpace. So is the people dumb? No, the people are not dumb. And that's what you got to realize and understand. And so now, but at the same time, though, we in the body of Christ already know Jamal Bryant. We already know who he is and how he get down. And it's a strong possibility that his sexcapades go much further than what this young lady bringing to the light. And also what she putting this on Jamal, but it's like, man, you went to a man page that you saw was married, and then because he said he going through a divorce, you decide to still go, but you go to this strange man room who could have took your innocence. Behind closed doors, you go into his room, you going to give a massage, and then next thing you know, she talking about next thing you know, the clothes coming off, and they having unprotected sex, and then she's saying she get pregnant on the first try. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Now, did they keep talking and keep on having sex and kept going back again and again and again? Much more likely. Much more likely. And then got pregnant. Because listen, y'all got to remember, I was out there. I know how this stuff go. Never got no woman pregnant on the first try. So yes, it happens, but it is highly unlikely. Some people, but you got to realize, yeah, the women who say, "Oh, I got pregnant on the first try," okay, congratulations, here go a cookie. It's 5 billion of y'all. So, all right, you one out of a million, like you one out of 100,000, you one out of 500,000. Like I have 50 million kids. If that's the case, it's like, and they say studies show they had got it down to where it basically came down to like a 24-hour period out of the 30 days that a woman could actually get pregnant. And they're like, what are the odds? And yeah, it's probably 7 days, but it's not even a lot of days. That's why so many women who struggle to have kids. And I think a lot of times they might be struggling to have kids and they just never get in that window. And just by the luck of the draw, they just don't get in that window. And so that's what they start trying to time it and get the apps and ovulation and doing all that, trying to get pregnant. Like, that's not easy to get pregnant. And so some ain't adding up. Either this ain't Jamal child, or they kept on sleeping together for years and then she eventually got pregnant, or she got pregnant and terminated it, and then they kept on going and then eventually got pregnant and decided she'll keep it. And then she say she got $96 payment. So I mean, if that's true, then that's admission right there. That is his child. And I'm gonna tell you what Jamal gonna do. If it's his child, because she done brought it public, Jamal and his new wife, they probably gonna request custody. He probably finna say, okay, because you want to come out and talk and try to make me look bad, now I'm finna Dwayne Wade and Ludacris you and get full custody. About to use my money, my power, my status to get full custody. And the judge finna see the way that you come out here with that lace front glue and them lashes, and she gonna realize you not fit to raise no child. Come out here with that weave and that what you got going on. So run me my son and hush. So now she might lose her son now because she done came out. Because one thing about it is, it's about money. That court system, it ain't about justice. It's about money. It ain't about justice. Y'all got to forgive me. I got to change seats because the game about to come on. Got that in the background bite there. So that's what you got to realize. So now that she done called the man out, and people might say, okay, all right, you want to run your mouth? Send him his son then. He better fit to take care of him. Not now. What she don't realize is her coming out and doing that talking. What she don't realize is now the court finna have to look into her. DCF finna look into her. Because also in DCF is petty. What DCF and CDS or all the different little agency, whatever, they're gonna look and realize that she just took her son, who is an adolescent, and put him on one of the most volatile outlets in the world, one of the most vitriolic, embattled outlets in the world. This outlet was sued by Cardi B and lost. DCL is finna look at that. DCF looking at that. They finna be like, you have endangered your son. She liable. This interview could liable to make her lose her son. I'm dealing with a woman through my foundation who have temporarily lost her kids because of something far less than what this woman did. Also, they're gonna assume that she is being compensated, which she may not be being compensated, but they're gonna assume that she's being compensated. And if Jamal Bryant want to fight this, the subpoena is gonna be put on Tasha K, and they're gonna subpoena her bank records to see if she paid this woman for this smear campaign. and they're gonna label it a smear campaign. And now Tasha K bank account's finna be back in court. The lady bank account finna be in court, and they finna have to subpoena. They're gonna subpoena Venmos, Apple Pays, bank accounts, and Cash Apps to prove they got to prove that she was not paid. And then if she was paid, she now gonna get in trouble for the child labor laws because she has put her child on a platform to work. And even if it was no compensation, Tasha K is being compensated. And so the fact that Tasha K is being compensated and this child, who is a minor, child means minor, has become the revenue generator for that video. And so the thing about it is you can't throw rocks if you live in a glass house. You can't be a hoe and live like a hoe and move like a hoe and come out and try to call a man a hoe. Both of y'all are hoes. If the story is true, that means both of y'all are whores, harlots. You both met strangers in a hotel room where either one of you could have been Jeffrey Dahmer and cut out the heart of the other one, and you both decide, if the story is true, decide to have unprotected sex on the first night when both of you could have had incurable diseases. It's a lot of us that have been there. That is whore behavior. So this is the pot calling the kettle black. How do you expect, and this is where the women have to take responsibility, how do you expect child support and love and attention and affection for your child from a man who don't even know you? How is he gonna know his child if you didn't even take time to get to know him? And now, as a mom, all of this is bad because at the end of the day, there's millions of kids of all races who don't have a relationship with their dad. So God made children resilient for that reason, because he knew they may not have a relationship with their dad. So now this young man doesn't have a relationship with his dad. We don't know if the dad is actually Jamal Bryant, or she just trying to say it's Jamal Bryant, thinking that Jamal just gonna cut her a check to shut up and just give her a settlement, because the numbers that she's saying ain't adding up. So I could believe that it's Jamal Bryant's child, just looking at him and his resume and his history. So I'm not saying I don't believe it. The numbers she's saying don't add up, unless they somehow was still on MySpace in 2016, 2015, unless the boy is older than he looked. But they brought the boy on there, and as soon as the boy sit down on his mama lap, they showing the boy wiping tears. And then Tasha K talking about that's why she don't like bringing kids on her platform. Why did you bring the kid on your platform? Nobody forced you to bring that child on that platform. Why you put the child on the platform? Don't do that now. We got to be responsible as adults. It don't matter what kind of gossip that you covering. We got to cover these kids first. So I'm hoping Tasha K edit the boy out. Even if she release it with him on there, I'm hoping they go back and edit the boy out for his mental health. What if this boy in 2 years commit suicide because of this interview circulating, and kids in school go to bullying him? And one thing that we all know about kids in school, they don't care about your feelings. They will make you find the nearest gun or the nearest knife and take your life, and they will laugh about it. And then they will throw their hands up like they didn't have a clue what happened at your funeral. These kids do not care. They don't have the intelligence. They don't have the full scope. They don't understand what their words do to other kids. They just thinking about their own insecurity, their own pain, their own problems, and they want to take the lens and the microscope off of them and put it on somebody else. And if they gotta make another child feel suicidal in order to get the spotlight off of them, that's what they will do. And as adults, we have to know better and we have to do better. I don't know if Tasha K have kids, because if she did, then I think she will understand. And if she does, then I think that she need to think about why she don't put her own kids on her platform. And it's like the young man already don't have a father. That's bad enough as it is. Why now put him through this vitriol in the whole world? And I'm gonna be honest with you, that is, to me, that is abuse. That's child abuse from the mom, because she is his guardian. And to take and put him on a vitriolic gossiping platform where there's a lot of hate being spewed and all of that stuff, and that's child abuse that she did. You let me tell it. That's child abuse. And so this right here is absolutely terrible, what's going on. And you got to think about this and realize this. And but what she thinking about is she thinking about attention and money. I don't know if she expecting to get money from, I don't know if she want money from Tasha K, or she expecting to get money from Jamal Bryant, or what. But she trying to be famous because, and I'm gonna tell you like this right here. And the reason why I know she trying to be famous, it ain't by that child. It ain't by that child talking to his dad. Because why would you even want a man to be in your son's life who don't love your son? That's asinine. That's absurd. That makes absolutely no sense. But I coach women every day who have gone through worse than what this woman has gone through. Like, I coach women who their body was taken from them and they was impregnated against their will, and they not going out looking for a platform to talk about it. I coach women who they had one night stands and they accept full responsibility for being a part of that one night stand, and they not going to look for a platform because they realize they just as guilty as the man for bringing that child into the world. And then she get pregnant and then she keep the child, and you can't say, oh, I don't believe in terminating a pregnancy if you believe in unprotected sex on the first night. Or you believe in anything then. If you believe in going and catching an incurable disease from a stranger on the first night, you don't have any standards. You don't have any morals. You don't have any self-respect. You don't have any self-love. And that's a state that a lot of us have been in. But in order to heal from it, you got to be honest about it. You got to tell the truth about it. You got to be able to admit that you didn't love yourself. You didn't know yourself. You didn't love yourself. You didn't care about yourself. You didn't care about your body. You didn't cherish your body, value your body, respect your body. And you got to be able to admit the state of mind that you was in. You was in a weak state of mind. You was in a broken state of mind. You were broke, busted, and disgusted. And you wanted a little bit of money. And she said that Jamal Bryant asked for a massage, come massage me, which is a thing. Guys used to do that. I done heard about that, erotic massages and all of that. He asked for a massage, and maybe that's what she was advertising, erotic massages or something. And he said, I'll pay you whatever. So she wanted the money. It went further. And now this is the thing. Jamal Bryant was just a pastor. He wasn't a Washington Wizards star NBA player. He wasn't a Washington Redskins, which is now the Commanders, star NFL player. He's a pastor. And at that level, that's mediocre money. Yeah, 6 figures, could have even been low 7 figures, but it probably was 6 figures. But it's like that ain't no whole lot of money. So, and then Jamal Bryant has never been called cute by a woman. I've never heard a woman say he cute or handsome or attractive. So you go and you get naked and you have unprotected sex with Jamal Bryant. How many other men you done had sex with like that? Because ain't nothing special about him. So if you go and have unprotected sex with an unspecial man, how many other men you done did that with? And how do we really know this Jamal Bryant, baby? Because if you go have unprotected sex with him, then you have unprotected sex every night. And that's what I need women to understand. Even if you're not having unprotected sex every night, when you sleep with a man on the first night, that tells that man that you have a potential of sleeping with 365 men a year. That is how we do. That's man math. If it takes a man a month to sleep with you, that means you sleep with 12 men a year. If it take him 3 months to sleep with you, that means you sleep with 4 men a year. If it take him 6 months to sleep with you, that means you sleep with 2 men a year. If it take him a year to sleep with you, that means you sleep with 1 man a year. That's man math. Guess what? And I tell my clients that all the time. I'm like, when did you sleep with him? They be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I say, so, okay. Do you sleep with every man you meet in 2 weeks? No, I don't. I just felt something different from him. We just had a lot of chemistry. We had great conversations. We went out on dates. I said, exactly. So that's not something that you normally do. But in that man's mind, no man is going to give himself the credit to think that it was just him. He thinks that is you. So if it's 52 weeks in a year and you sleep with that and you slept with him in 2 weeks, he now believes you sleep with 26 men a year. And so it ain't no getting around that. And I say, and that's why he no longer talks to you. That's why y'all broke up. And you don't understand it. And you wonder, how did he leave? Why did he leave? What did it do? You told him that you're a whore, whether you are or not. He already knows he's a whore, but you told him he's a whore. And as men, we have a double standard. The double standard exists, and a lot of women know the double standard exists, and it's on you to upend that double standard. But we're able as men, and this the sad reality, we're able as men to be whores and to get a good woman. Most men who was loose and was out there wild end up with a good woman who was not out there. And that's just the makeup of the world. That's the unfortunate part of the world that we live in. That's the reality. And this is what I try to tell y'all all the time. Like, what's real don't mean it's right. And that's what you have to understand. Just because it's not right don't mean it's not real. Y'all got to forgive me because I'm out here and this thing flew in here. Let me see if I can let it out. Sorry about that. What some kind of big old waltz look like. So just because it ain't right don't mean it ain't real. And so that's why you got to understand, like, you are responsible for you. Nobody else is responsible for you. And that's why I tell every single woman, yes, you got the short end of the stick. Because the man get to put his stick in your water. Like the lady used the analogy that Jamal Bryant came to the water. Well, ma'am, guess who's stuck with the child, raising the child alone? You. So you are dumber than him because you see that he's dumb. You see that this dummy is writing you, who are a stranger, and inviting you, who could have every disease under the sun, to come to his room where you can get him set up, get him robbed, because you see that he got a little bit of money. You know he got a nice wallet, a good credit card, a nice watch. You could have your homeboy from the hood come stand beside that door. You do the door knock. Jamal open the door. Your homeboy kick it in there, put the gun in his mouth, give him everything you got. And get right there, hold him at gunpoint, get his credit card, go on Amazon, go on Nike, go on the light bill, go on the water bill, pay all his bills right there with Jamal at gunpoint. Still his old identity. Sit right there, get on what'scaller.com, this.com, and order credit cards. Yeah, he gonna close it all. Yeah, he gonna do whatever. You could get this man robbed. You also could get this man killed. And this man is dumb enough to invite you to his room. So this is what I call Dumb and Dumber, because the man is the pursuer. The man is the initiator. The woman is the receiver. The person who is the receiver has the most power. So if somebody gives you a dumb proposition, come to my room as a stranger and let's have unprotected sex as strangers. That's a dumb proposition. If you are proposed to dumbified and then you accept it, you are dumber than the person who pitched this to you. So when somebody pitches you something that's stupid, it's your job to be like, that's stupid. I would never do that. That makes no sense in the world. What in the world are you talking about? Come to your room. I don't even know you. How am I coming to your room, to your hotel room? You can have 2, 3 other guys in there and y'all can R-word me. Y'all can do that, slit my throat, chop me up in little pieces, and I'm in a garbage bag and nobody even know where I was and where I went. Like, how stupid do I look? That's the approach that the woman supposed to take. This dummy goes in there with that dummy and then claim they have unprotected sex on the first night, and she get pregnant on the first night in 2011, which is when MySpace ended. So this probably was 2010. It's 16 years later, and she come on here with a 12-year-old talking about she got pregnant on the first night. 12, 13, 14-year-old talking about she got pregnant on the first night now. And she said, this how long ago this was. He wrote me on MySpace. So what's the whole story now? Because the rest of the story must be they met up or whatever, or she made them wait 2-3 years and they met up and she got pregnant on the first night then, or she got pregnant on the first night and she lost it, but they kept talking, kept dealing with each other. Then she got pregnant again later. That must be the story. I'm not going to watch the interview. I ain't got that kind of time. I can already tell just from the thing that what she on there for. And for Tasha K, is content. I mean, you got a story to tell. Come on, tell it. You know, it's content. At the end of the day, she got a family to feed and she got a lawsuit to pay. So it's like that's the business that she in. You can't fault her for interviewing somebody because that's what she does. That's her job. You got to look at the person who came on for the interview, and then you got to look at the person who the interview is about. And so it's a lot of holes in the latest story, but what I want y'all women to understand, and also the men who watching this, is you got to look at this stuff and you got to look at personal responsibility. So this is what I want you to understand as a man first. I'm gonna start with the men first because I'm a man. What I first want you to understand is you got to be reminded of what's done in the dark comes to the light. You got to remember that there are no secrets. So just how this lady coming out and she's spilling the beans, she telling all the story or whatever, or what happened. Like every choice that you make, like the choice you get ready to make this week, next month, could come out on you 10 years from now. So don't think like, oh, I'm still growing, I'm young, I could do stupid stuff right now and it don't matter because later I can make up for it. No, what you do stupid right now could cost you your name, your job, your life 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now. So you have to use discretion. So if this story is true, I would imagine Jamal Bryant was going through a lot of stress. He was under pressure. It could have even been before he was going through a divorce. And he just used that because he knew one day that marriage was going to fizzle out because he knew how he was living his life. And so we don't know what happened with that. And so there you have this situation where he probably looking for a stress reliever. And I'm a man. I get that. I understand that. We all have some type of vice. Like me, it's not being focused on one thing. I'm watching the soccer game and doing a video at the same time. But even though I'm not looking at you, I'm still coherent and I'm making my points and I'm talking to you. It's just something I'm able to do. And so some men smoke weed, some men drink alcohol, some men watch porn, some men actually go out and make the porn, like Jamal, go out and sleep with the women. And I was out there 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, met my wife at 21. So my life had to change. So you got to look and realize, and I thank God that he graced me. And this is the other thing too that I want men to understand. I'm not perfect. Like I made mistakes. I have done things that I'm not proud of, but those things have not come out. The things that have come out is the stuff that I've told you about. I told you about my life. I told you about my indiscretions. I told you about me being a womanizer. I told you about those things. That's me telling you. But all of those things, God graced me for, because it's nothing that you know about me that you found out without me bringing it to the forefront. That's God's grace. So that's why I try to tell y'all, and that's why I tell every woman, when you find out that a man is cheating, he done already cheated 10 other times, because we are given grace as humans because God knows he made us imperfect. So we get away with so much before we get exposed. When somebody get exposed, you don't get exposed. Like, for example, the couple who doing 40 years, they got 40 years. They did a $30 million Ponzi scheme. 30 million. I watch American Greed, search American Greed and watch that show. You're gonna see these people doing 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, $400 million schemes, Ponzi schemes, and they literally get 6 years in prison. The most I ever heard was 20 years. And these people got, was it 40 years? I think both of them got 40 years for 30 million. So I guarantee you, this same scam is being ran all over the world. But if they would have stopped at 3 million, they would have never been caught. If they would have stopped at if they would have stopped at 10 million, they might have not been caught. People probably would have chalked it up, but they kept going and going and going and going until they met the wrong one. And they said, not me. Not my money. You not finna play me. And they met the wrong one who tipped everything off and who got it all out there going. They met the wrong one. So guess what? If Jamal Bryant did what this lady said he did, do you think she's the only erotic massager that he done did that with? 9 out of 10 times, probably not. 9 out of 10 times, she probably not the only one. But she the wrong one. She the one. She the Grim Reaper. She the date with destiny. Date with fate. I ain't gonna say destiny. She the date with fate. She the one that come to bring you down. She the one that come to expose it all. But guess what? Her having the confidence to talk, the courage to come out and talk, might make other women want to come out and talk. Now, these other women might want to come out and tell their story and say, hey, hold on now. He did me like that. Hey, we did that. Hey, hold on now. It might be some more women that come and say, hold on now, let me do a test to see if I can get some money because they slept with him, but was sleeping with their main man, their boyfriend or their husband, then got pregnant. Their husband, same color as Jamal. So they just let their husband believe it was his baby, or the boyfriend believe it was his baby, or the first baby daddy, second baby daddy, whoever believe it was his baby because of the same complexion, similar little features, and then want to tell them they slept with Jamal. So now if it's other women he done had unprotected sex with who got pregnant, found out they was pregnant not long after, now it might be more women that come out. And that's the thing. Now, the reason why black men, the reason why we get graced so much is because of the love and care that black women have for black men. And a lot of black women, if they see a black man is not a bad man and just not like nasty and vitriolic and disrespectful, it's not their goal to end a black man. Like, it's not their goal to just let me destroy his life, because they also understand and realize they chose that black man. They chose to sleep with him. They chose to open their legs for him. So they know they just as guilty as he is. They know they just as engaged in it as he is. And so they won't come out and try to ruin that black man's life. Like, why them black women did Derrick Jackson like that, it maybe was because they wanted some clout and wanted some name, some fame, or he was paying them, helping them pay bills and stuff, and then stopped. And they probably was like, hey, the only reason they slept with you is to get some money up at you because they saw your Lamborghini, they saw you got money, they saw you got a big name out here. They know that if they speak, it's gonna ruin you. So they know you got a reason to pay them hush money. So they say, hey, you got a reason to pay hush money, or you finna pay this money. When he probably when he stopped paying that rent, stopped paying that car note, got arrogant. All right, got something for you. Tasha K Live. Finna tell this story, boy. And then boom, just like that, career over with. And it's like, yeah, he probably still able to make money, but it ain't nobody the same thing like Cheyenne Bryant. You always gonna be able to make money, but you ain't gonna be able to make as much as you could have made. You ain't gonna be able to make as much as you was making unless you're doing other little things and other little consulting, other little stuff you got going on, but you ain't gonna make the same amount. You might end up making more, but you ain't making it with no integrity. You ain't making it with nobody with no class and no self-respect. But sometimes they might not care about that. They just care that they making some money. And so this thing, what you got to realize and understand is you have to be responsible for you. Everybody got to take responsibility for themselves. You got to take responsibility for yourself. You got to know who you are. You got to know what you are doing. You got to know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. You have to know for you. And you got to be able to take full responsibility for yourself, for your life, and what you're doing and how you doing it, who you are, what you are. And so like with this lady, she coming out, and what she don't realize is she done expose herself more than she done expose Jamal Bryant. We not surprised with Jamal. We ain't surprised by that. Like, we know Jamal. We know how he get down. Like, we ain't surprised. Like, this is not a shock. But for you, sister, now what about your job? Do you work? Are you a stripper? Are you on OnlyFans? Like, so now you finna go back to your job, like go back to your life. So now all your friends and family know that you is a erotic massager who have sex on the first night with no protection. And then how are you going to get a man going forward? No man want to be with you now other than to just sleep with you and get an erotic massage and just dump off in you. But now because you done did this and then making it look like you tried to set this man up. The men who come to now, you're gonna have a man come sleep with you who got an incurable disease, and he coming to sleep with you to give you that disease because he know you get down unprotected on the first night for a little bit of money, do something strange for a little piece of change. So now he finna come put that thing in you, skeet off in you, boom. Now you burning for life, and he's saying, take that. That's what you get for doing that to that pastor. That's what you get for trying to set that pastor up. That's what you get for trying to. And so the red pill community is coming for you now, but because you want love, you're not going to be able to tell the real from the fake. And because you're sexually active and you're not no virgin, you're going to end up busting it wide open, and you're not going to know if you busting it wide open for a man that's serious or a man that coming to game you, coming to play you like a baser. And so what she don't realize is she just brought hell upon her life. Her life getting ready to be a living hell on earth. And if Jamal come out and he say, okay, boom, you say that's my child, let's do the test. Let's do the test again. We say she already showed the test or whatever, there's 99.9% or whatever it is. He may say, let's do the test again. Or just to get it up under the rug, just sweep it under the rug, he may say, listen, I didn't know, I didn't understand, I didn't believe it. But now seeing the test and taking the test again, I didn't know if she made that test up. I ain't even know how she got my DNA. And he'll find a way to PR it again. What I'm gonna do, I'm writing the check right now. Y'all can see the check. It is $100,000. I'm putting it in escrow. That is gonna be worth $25,000 a year for a 4-year degree that I'm covering for my son. I conceived him with this woman in a weak time of my life, in a time where I was broken, I was vulnerable, I was embarrassed, I was ashamed. But now I'm about to step up as a man. I'm gonna own up to this, and I'm gonna make sure that he can get put in the best private school right now in his city, and that he has a fund, he has a trust, and he'll get a car when he's 16 if he keep his grades up. I'm also gonna get him a tutor, and I'm also gonna pay for his college. And I'm also gonna get him every summer. We're gonna do a custody agreement. I'm gonna get him every summer so he can live with me, and I could build with him, and I could get to know him. And that's what Jamal about to do. And honestly, that's what I would do if I was Jamal. If that's his son, that's exactly what I would do. And own up to it. Like you gotta also, you gotta show God and you gotta show the people where your heart at. And it can't just be for PR. It got to be real. It got to be legitimate. It got to be the real deal. It got to be because you want to do the right thing. You want to do right. You want to be right. That's what it got to be. Point blank, period. And so I'm hoping. Those y'all in New York, this is a real pizza place. This ain't just a designer. This ain't a designer hat. This is a hat from Prince Street Pizza. It's a real pizza place. I love their pizza too, boy. Somewhere in New York, my sister-in-law took me there. Me and my wife, when we was up there. So that's what got to be realized and understood right there. That what got to be realized and understood is Jamal, if this is son, he need to step on up. But also the young lady, she probably gonna go ahead and tell the full story, because this boy do not look like he was conceived in 2011. And that's when they ceased to operate. So that means when you were using it had to be 08. You know, the boy be 18 years old. He conceived in 08. You see what I'm saying? Like something ain't adding up. So I'm guessing she's gonna tell the whole story of like how long they was dealing with each other, how long they was having this affair or this whatever it was, this situationship, and then when exactly, like, or unless they just was the last two Mohicans on MySpace 10 years ago. I just, the Google said that it stopped being a thing in 2011. His divorce was finalized from Giselle in 2009. So that seemed more like the timeline. And now he done got remarried. But it's like, here's the thing. Tasha K ain't turning down no juicy story. So, and she been around for years now. So why you just not coming out? Like, what's the point of just not coming out? I'm not understanding. What's the point of just not coming out? Unless Cheyenne is her therapist and Cheyenne said, hey, I think you need to go tell your story. It's time to tell your story because you see how he doing me. You know, you see how he trying to act perfect and he trying to do me. You need to tell your story. Unless that was the case, I just don't understand the motive of coming out and telling this. Like, what's the point of this here business? Like, what purpose does it serve? Like, to try to socially embarrass him, to force him to give you some money for the child? And this is what I want y'all to understand. Your child is your responsibility. Although you did not conceive that child alone, when you lay down with somebody unprotected to conceive, you have to have the mindset of, it's on me. If you cannot take care of a child by yourself, do not have a child. Because even if the person you sleeping with is your person, they could die. They can die. They can leave. They can refuse to pay. So do not have a child banking on somebody else going half with you. That is rarely a guarantee. It's never a guarantee, and it don't happen that often anymore as we see. So I tell my clients all the time who have custody of their child, whether it's a man or a woman, that child is your responsibility. That is your child. That child came out of you, whether it came out as sperm or whether it came out as a fertilized egg. That child came out of you. It is your child. Do not hang your hat on somebody else helping you pay for that child. You had that child. And I know that sounds unfair. And I know you don't want to hear that, especially if you stressing and you struggling. But that's the lesson you have to accept. That's the lesson you got to learn. And that's the lesson you got to teach. Teach your child the responsibility and the level of importance of a child. Make sure your child knows how intense and serious this is. Make sure your child knows that they cannot go out and conceive a child if they're not ready to be 100% responsible for that child. I talk to people all the time. They so mad. Oh, he won't pay a dime. He won't do this. He ain't gay this. He ain't gay that. Guess what? That's the man you picked. That's the man you fell for. That's the man you did not vet. And even if you say, oh, he wasn't that person. I was with him for years before we even had a child. And he completely became a new person. Guess what? That also is life. That also is a part of life. That is a part of what we got to live with. A part of what we got to live through. A part of what we got to deal with. That is life. And I want you to realize and understand that the number one indicator of adulthood is accepting full responsibility for your life. That's the number one indicator. When you stop waiting on somebody to save you, stop waiting on somebody to help you, stop pointing the blame at your mama, your daddy, your ex, your next, your best, your worst, and you look yourself in the mirror and you say, what do I have to do to make my life successful, happy, healed, and whole? What do I have to do? And then you start to put in the work. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it is meant to be, it is up to me. Yes, you ain't lay down by yourself. Yes, you supposed to have some help. But yes, you're going to have to figure it out. Point blank period. You're going to have to figure it out. And guess what I'm going to tell you? You could do it. You could do it. As hard as it is, as unfair as it is, you can do it. You got what it takes and you can figure it out. You can make it happen. You are capable. Because guess what? God made humans capable of being able to take care of our children by ourselves. You know why he did that? Because God knew that relationships are not guaranteed. God knew that life is not guaranteed. It's some people who one of their parents died at birth. I got 2 cousins who birthed a child and died 3 months later. 2 female cousins. They died from a rare disease or issue that women get. They moms were sisters and they were first cousins and they both died from the same condition. These were my second cousins. They both, Rhonda and Tassina, God rest their soul. Both of them had a baby and 3 months later died. They had to stay in the hospital, I think, the whole time, if I'm not mistaken. And they died. I can't remember the name of the condition. So think about that. Them kids had to be adopted by family members, had to grow up without their mama. And I don't know if either one of them knew the dad. I don't know if the dad stayed in either one of the kids' life. God knew what he was doing when he created humans. So that's why he made you self-sufficient. That's why he created you in such a way to where you got to lean on him. You got to depend on him. When all else fails, before all else fails, you need to be dependent on him. But definitely when all else fails, you need to be dependent on him. You need to know that God got you. You need to know that. And you need to know that God is all you need. Now, I'm going to tell you, like this lady that came out, she want fame. She don't want money. She want fame because if she popping pee on a handstand first night unprotected, back then, she could still be doing that now if she want to. She go get right on the pole. She go get right on OnlyFans. She got ways to make money. She don't want no money. She want fame. She want to be known. She want to be seen. That's all it is. She feel insignificant in her life. It is millions of black women living her same story. And they not trying to find no blog to go talk. It is millions. Millions. And so that's what you got to realize and understand. And the thing about it is, if it's Jamal child, it's just. It is just that it came out. It's good because this stuff need to be exposed. This stuff needs to be exposed. Because if you living and you claiming to be a man of God, you need to expose yourself. Tell everything that need to be told before you continue carrying that message. You need to expose yourself. And if you won't confess your sins one to another, that's why I tell all my business people always talk about oversharing and all of that. Ain't no such thing. That's why I tell all my business. You need to overshare. You need to tell it all. And if you want to work for the Lord, if you claim to be a servant of the Lord and you trying to, because that's where God get the glory from, your testimony. He get the glory from your story. Your mess become a message. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what's supposed to happen right there. So listen, get your lesson from this. Don't just look at this stuff as gossip and you be like, oh, this gossip, this celebrity gossip. No, get your lesson from it. Look at it and see what you need to do. What do you need to do? What do you need to learn? How do you need to carry yourself? Stop having one night stands. Stop sleeping with people unprotected. Stop sleeping with strangers. Stop fornicating altogether. Get the lesson on the level that you need to get that lesson on, and it's going to change your life. But hey, this is Tony Gaskins. All the important links in the description. Make sure you're on the wait list for Destiny if you single. Get on there. Enough of y'all ain't on there yet now. Y'all, we waiting on y'all now. Need you to get on there. Get your life on together. Oh my goodness. This is the craziest game I have seen. This is insane. This Cape Verde in Spain. Oh my goodness. What in the world am I looking at? This goalie is fixing to get picked up by somebody. He going. This Cape Verdean, I'm finna see where he play at. This man finna get him a contract. You hear me? Man. If you have a son of color, even if it's a drop, find his, and if he ain't not of color, there's the white people too. Invest in your son. Invest in your son, because they try to say Spain is predicted to win the World Cup. They one of the teams that could win the whole thing. And this first half is almost over, and they playing against a team full of all black guys who people say can't play soccer and not good at soccer. And this game is neck and neck. It has been 40 minutes and Spain has not scored on Cape Verde. If you from Cape Verde, shout out to you. God bless you. Tell me what's the best resort over there, because I'm finna visit. After seeing the way how hard these fellas playing, my goodness. And maybe if you from Cape Verde and you got a daughter or something around my son age, let's get them married so he gets some citizenship and play for Cape Verde. And now if y'all in Jamaica, y'all know the process, because my wife Jamaican and her mom and daddy Jamaican. We need to get dual citizenship for my sons. So if one of y'all over there in Jamaica and y'all know somebody down there at the consulate or whatever it is, and you know the process, reach out to me. And I'm going to put you with my wife, and so you can help start that process. My wife says she got somebody, though. So never mind. Don't reach out to me, because her daddy friend say he could do it. Because she'll be like, I don't want to talk to nobody. No, I'm not. No. But yeah, we got to go and get that dual citizenship, because my son want to play in the World Cup 2030. He hoping to be good enough to be able to play for Jamaica team. So, hey, we're going to speak it into existence, and we're going to go and work towards it. So I'm about to get my wife on it, because sometimes she be that mommy brain. She'll be thinking about other stuff. But hey, God bless you. Keep your head up, and we'll talk soon. Hey, before I go, shout out to all the supporters, Tony Gaskin Family Foundation. Thank you so much. We got 2 trips left. Shout out to those of you who have donated. We need you more than ever. We got to get through these last 2. We got Nashville and we got Chicago. So thank you so much. The Lord been good to you, and you don't have children of your own that you have to take care of, or you ain't got to take care of your niece and nephew, and you gainfully employed, and you're looking for a charitable mission, something that's impactful, powerful, please consider us. The link is in the description. You'll see the Boys Summer Program link in the description. A one-on-one link in the description. Destiny app right there. Y'all know how to get there. But God bless you, and we'll talk soon.